Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Friday. Sorry. Oh, my head is draining, so my ears are so itchy. Oh, happy Friday. It is Friday the 13th. Aloha Friday the 13th. So, one of the reasons I do Aloha Oracle on Friday is because Friday is Aloha Friday. So, anyways. All right, here we are, another week. It was a pretty rough week this week, right? Sorry, all the things, right? It must be Friday the 13th. So, fun fact about me. I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe I was, had my cat on me before I started, so, lip print. Anyways, my brain is decompressing after a very, very long week of heavy subjects, but and we're not done yet. It's going to go right into next week. So let's break up that monotony. Let's break it up and just, go with the flow today and do the Aloha Oracle. So I usually tap into my guides. And by that, I mean, I just ask for guidance on what cards to pull, what I think people might need to hear, or what they think people might need to hear. So, against my better judgment, the romance cards are back. That one always kind of scares me. All right. I talked about this last week in the Aloha Oracle when I did it, because a lot of people will try to make it fit. And if it doesn't fit and then it doesn't work, they freak out. And it's kind of like, it may not be for you. So I'm going to read these. And I still need to add a number 5 just for the romance deck. But simply put, if the card does not resonate with you, do not try to make it fit, because that's not going to end well. You just got to go with the flow, divine timing. I know divine timing can be a bitch and it can suck, and that could be like the worst saying you ever hear in your life, and I get it. But number 1, do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. Number 2, do not make a card fit your question if it does not resonate with you. Forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking. Number 3, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book, because someone took the time to write the book and put it together. And number 4, angels, God, heaven, etc. might come up. Feel free to insert your higher power or universe. This will help the flow of the reading without having to stop to clarify. So again, without having to stop to clarify, ta-da, let's get rolling. All right. Oh, so while I wait for people to come on, I always do the angel answers. This is the one that I rarely, if ever, read the book on, because it's just more of a 5-card draw to get people to, waiting for people, because I do have people that like to come on live. So it's more of waiting for them to come on. So let's see here. Oh, that one wanted to come out. That one wants to come out. Normally, I only do 3 shuffles, and if nothing comes out, I skip the deck. But, no, that doesn't feel, that was kind of stuck in there, so. But this one, I always like to try to grab about 5 cards. And there are 7. Great. There's 8. Super great. Wow. All right. You know what? I'm just going to read them in the order they came out. So there we go. There's a lot. All right, let's try to blow through these. Trust. That's a big one. Trust. Right? Not always easy, but sometimes you have to do that. Especially when it comes to going with the flow or trusting in divine timing. This is going to be our key card for today. I'm probably going to keep this out just to remind us that when we're going through stuff, you just got to trust the process. All right. So trust. A peaceful resolution. Sometimes when you trust, there is a peaceful resolution, because you're just letting things go with the flow. You're just letting life kind of just happen. Right. So it's just a matter of trusting in that moment. So kind of like with the subjects that we've had all week, right? It is Suicide Prevention Month. I was talking about different, like the risks, the warnings, all those different things. So, but sometimes if you're not sure what to do in those situations, you have to trust that you're going to make the right decisions. in helping somebody and hope for a peaceful resolution. All right, so the next card, if you believe. If you believe. Okay, so the song rolling through my head right now is from The Wiz. If you believe. So, sorry, my singing. But anyways, anyway, I love these cards. And I'm going to tell you why I love these cards. Because so far, they're all positive. When you trust, when you believe, you can have that peaceful resolution. Or if you hope for a peaceful resolution, you have to believe that it's going to happen. And you have to trust that it's going to happen so that it can. So, if you believe, take action. Sometimes we have to take action, right? And action may be simply to believe and to trust. See, whenever we think that someone's telling us to take action, we're thinking, all right, what do I got to go out there and do? What do I got to go out there and do? It's like you're lining up and, after the huddle and waiting for, the hike, right? Hike? I don't know. Waiting for the center to pass it to your quarterback. So I love football, but sometimes the terminology gets away from me. Anyways, American football for my friends that watch overseas. But taking action sometimes can be as simple as praying, meditating, setting intentions, doing your gratitude, trusting, and believing. So taking action. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but whatever it is, it's no. But it's not an emphatic no, okay? Because there is another card in here that has an exclamation point on it. So this is just a no, which means in my perspective, so, I work very closely with Archangel Gabriel. Now, I know not everybody believes that, and that's okay. We're here for the woo-woo, wherever the woo-woo comes from. So don't worry where I'm getting it from. If the message resonates, that's great. But I love Archangel Gabriel. He always kind of speaks to me. He's the one that makes me pick these cards. I don't know why he made me pick the romance cards today. He's probably testing me. But this particular no, the way I'm seeing it is, it's just temporary. Not right now. Not right now. Okay, and maybe it's because you have to take action and trust and believe. You may not be trusting and believing right now, so you're wondering, well, why isn't this happening? Why am I not getting my peaceful resolution? And they're saying no, because you're not doing the work. You can't. You got to have that vibe. You got to ramp up that vibe in order to have things come to fruition. If you're sitting here, you're kneeling. Okay, so I was raised Catholic, but if you're kneeling and you're praying, but you're not trusting that God is going to hand it to you, or you're not trusting that God is going to send what's right for you, or, if you believe in other spiritual things. I have a very vast spiritual table. It's not just God at my table, but you might be, talking or meditating or setting intentions with somebody else. And you're wondering, well, what's happening? They're going to say, your vibe is killing us. All right. And remember, don't just sit there and say, hey, God, or hey, God or goddesses, I want this. Say this or something better, because this or something better leaves the wiggle room, because what we're asking for may not always be what is intended for us. All right. There may be something out there, and what they bring you is going to be like, whoa, and to think I wanted that, but I got that instead. Woo! Because you have to trust and believe. All right. So whatever the no is for, the no right now is just because it's not that time. God, there were a lot of cards today, you guys. I was aiming for 5 and I got 8. Somebody's needy out there. So abundance, and I mean needy in the nicest way. All right. So abundance. Now, again, as I've been chatting at you for the last 6 cards, this being the 6th, so the last 5 cards, right? If you believe, if you trust, if you take action by believing and trusting, your peaceful resolution could very well end up being abundance. Now, abundance doesn't just mean money. Abundance can be abundance in a lot of things. Friendships, love, kindness, just abundance of good things happening to you. But if you switch that vibe to negative, you can also get abundance of crap. Okay, so be careful with that. All right, be careful with that. So if you want to bring in all these beautiful, wonderful things, you've got to trust and believe. All right, if you want abundance of any sort, you have to trust and believe. And you have to trust and believe, so we'll use an example. Say you're trying to win the lottery, right? You could say this or something better. This or something better, because something better might come to you. Who knows? There might be somebody out in the world, you have no idea whose lives they touch. I have read these stories. I have seen this happen to actual friends. Well, one or two friends, but you know, people that you know, a long time ago, I guess acquaintances, but people I knew in my past, where they were suddenly left a bunch of money from somebody they didn't really realize, that either they didn't know, or they just kind of touched their lives for a while, moved out, but the people didn't have, you know, heirs. So it's like, hey, here you go. You know, so things like that can happen. That doesn't mean be nice to people just to, you know, see what you can get from them. No, be kind to people. These people got something because they showed them a kindness that they weren't expecting. You know, I was reading an article a couple of weeks ago about this one guy who worked in the healthcare industry, you know, and it was, I think it was in Finland, and he was helping his friend take care of his grandfather. Well, what they didn't know is that the grandfather was, you know, keeping a point system. Okay. He knew he was dying. He had an illness and he knew he was dying, but he was keeping a point system. What are people doing for me? And this is how I am going to dole out my inheritance to these people. And it turns out that the grandson and the friend got the vast majority of this inheritance. And other family members were mad, but the lawyer said, hey, this is what we kept the tally on. But this guy didn't know that. He was just helping his friend because he was a medical professional. He could help them. And, you know, he was doing what he could. And in the interim, he was treating this person with kindness. I mean, he even said in the article, this is like somebody who became like my own grandfather. You know, it was my best friend's grandfather, and he became like my grandfather in the time that I was taking care of him. And the grandfather was noting all this and taking note and, you know, adjusting accordingly. So you never know what can happen when it comes to abundance. You just have to keep your mind open and hope for the best, right? But put that vibe out there, this or something better. And you never know, you might be one of those lucky few that does win. So compromise. Sometimes compromise is hard. I'm saying that because compromise, it can be hard. But if you're in a situation where two people are butting heads, either agree to disagree, or if it's a project, you know, work on both things. Say, hey, you know what, let's do a compromise. Let's see who's let's work on our projects together and see what we can come up with together. How can we implement your ideas and my ideas into this? Or let's both do the project together and see which one feels more feasible, which one, you know, write it out, right? Which one feels more doable, and then compromise. It doesn't mean that you're giving up on your own thoughts. What it means is you're coming together as a team, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, friendship, family stuff. Compromises can really kind of help you communicate better and find a way to meet in the middle. And lastly, there's something better. So remember, this or something better. This or something better. All right. So I really like this card. It's very pretty. It's got those real subtle, gentle colors in it. But I think my favorite out of all of these, believe it or not, is trust and if you believe. I mean, all these cards are pretty badass, but I like the teals in them. You know, that's kind of been my favorite color for the last year or so. It's just the color up in here. It's just this beautiful kind of oceany color, just kind of going with that flow, right? So I told you guys, I'm going to keep the trust card out because I have a feeling we're going to have to look back on it. So there you go. I wasted a lot. Well, I didn't waste a lot of time. I spent a lot of time on that one. So I'm not going to recap. We're just going to move forward. The romance cards. Yeah, you saw my face. You know I'm not a big fan. I like these cards when I'm doing readings for people I know. Especially because, I mean, I'm telling you, most of the time people are always asking me, what does my love life look like? And I haven't been asked to do a reading in a while. But I think it's because I stopped doing my show for a while and people forgot I stopped doing this. But I also think they think I'm going to charge them. I don't charge my friends. For me, it's good practice, you know, and I do it very differently than most people do. I kind of, you know, I look at the cards, I feel the cards, and then I type everything out and send it to them. So, you know, there's one. And, ooh, oh man, this is my third shuffle, and I'm thinking, oh good, I'm only going to have one card. 4 just flew out. Oh, Archangel Gabriel, you are testing me today. All right. So this is the first one that came out. So we'll go with that one first. Oh, my goodness. Express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. Ta-da! I don't know who needs to hear that, but if you need to hear that, I'm not really sure I can add much more to this. So here's the thing. Express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. So a lot of people might be afraid. Okay, maybe you don't know the person that well. Maybe you've only met once or twice. But, but they're stuck in your head. And a lot of times people will say that when somebody's heavy on your mind, it's very possible that they are thinking of you as well. Because, I've talked about this in the past. I think it might have been last week when we did the Aloha Oracle. A lot of people believe that people are connected by a cord. I think some people call it the red cord. But I know you're like, yeah, right. It's like, oh, I'm connected to myself because I'm just pointing to myself. But they believe a lot of people are connected by this cord. And so if it's meant, if your person is out there and other people might get in the way, other people might try to, mess up this cord, and not on purpose, right? Because we just kind of move through life. I mean, you never know. Your person could be on a completely different continent. But, there's supposed there, I believe in this. All right. I do believe in this because I have seen some of the weirdest shit happen in the last couple of years with how people met. All right. And one of them is a very good friend of mine who just, her cousin randomly showed her this one dude. And next thing she knows, she's like, oh, he's kind of cute, blah, blah, blah. And this is like 2 states away. Okay. And then all of a sudden, and now they've been together almost 3 years, I think, in this long distance relationship. And, they're getting ready to just one's getting ready to move. And it's progressed that way. But I mean, who would have thought? It's like, poof, mind blow. So it just goes to show you that when you trust and when you believe, I should have kept that card out too, that, and you open your heart to something, it's going to find a way to work itself out. We just have to trust it. And can it be hard? Oh, fraggles. Yeah, it can be hard. Okay, I'm trying not to swear as much on my show anymore. But I know that's been my replacement for years for the F-bomb is fraggles. I know. But I love fraggles. Okay, squirreling. But anyways, just go ahead and make that romantic gesture. What is the worst thing that's gonna happen? They might say, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. What's the best thing that could happen? Wow, really? I didn't realize that. You're always heavy on my mind. I think about you a lot. But, and you might be like, really? Because, I didn't think, but you could make that impression on somebody. Just one time meeting somebody, you could make that impression. So you never know, right? So, make that, express your love. Be like Madonna, express yourself. So, express your love. Thanks, Eileen. I know so how Scarlett O'Hara does, fiddly dee dee. Yeah. Fraggly dee dee. I know. I grew up with Fraggles. I love Fraggles, and they are my replacement, my fun replacement for the F-bomb, or apparently fiddly dee dee. So, anyways, this card urges you to take the initiative in your love life. That may mean contacting someone to whom you're attracted and asking that person out on a date. It could also mean sending flowers, texts, or gifts to your beloved. As you express romance, these feelings pour through. You actually become the biggest beneficiary of your romantic displays as you enjoy how they make you feel to an even greater degree. The more you give love, the more you experience it. Of course, do make sure that you're also open to receiving the love that comes to you. So, from wherever you believe. Okay, so here's the thing. As a single person, I always forget about the couple side. And the funny thing is, there is a couple right in here. So yes, if you are in a relationship, whether it's a new, when relationships are new, right? People tend to do things for each other until they get comfortable. If you've been with someone for a while, even if you're married, maybe you've been married for like a gazillion years, or you've been with somebody for a gazillion years, give them a romantic gesture, not just texting them, or, take them to dinner, or take them to a movie, or just take them out, or it doesn't have to be extravagant, right? Unless you want it to be. Don't just wait for that X anniversary, and I don't mean X like former, I mean like whatever, fill in the blank anniversary to do something big. Send them the random flowers, maybe I see on Facebook a lot of my friends, they've been in these relationships for over a year now, and their boo will just send them flowers out of the blue, right? And it's just like, it's a magical feeling for them, so and this goes both ways, okay? Both sides of that partnership. Don't just wait for someone to do something nice for you. Do something nice for them, especially if they do things for you all the time. Do something for them. So there you go. Express your love, Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay, seriously, I have to say this. This woman looks like she's straight out of the 80s. Look at that hair. But she also looks like, yeah. So he's like, I'm looking at you, baby, and I love you. But she's just kind of like, how long is my hair going to hold up? So, I'm sorry, I need to take these things more seriously. But I know I'm getting yammered at. It's like, Shelly Marie, stay on topic. But anyways, that being said, give your relationship a chance. We live in an era nowadays where people are so quick to just pop out of a relationship if something like goes sideways one or two times. Now, I mean, there are some sideways that you just can't forgive, okay? But there are some sideways that, maybe you didn't see something coming. Maybe somebody didn't realize. I'm so sorry. My head is draining. There's a lot of different things that, give your relationship a chance can mean. But, maybe I have a lot of examples. I really need to talk to these people to ask them for their permission to use some of their stories. Not their names, but their stories. But I have a lot of examples that I can't really share right now because I don't have the permission to share them. But if you struggle, maybe you've been hurt in the past. I think that's one of the reasons I've been single for so long, because my last two relationships really kind of did a number on me and damaged me. And they're rebuilding my trust that I could ever trust somebody after that has been difficult. But then I also have grown and I've also healed in that time. But I gave those relationships a chance. I'm not sure they deserved the amount of chances that I gave them, but I did give them the proper, time of chances. And again, probably way too much. But if you're in something and there's a situation that is fixable, don't just walk away. If it means that much to you and you love this person that much, see what you can do to work things out together. If they don't want to, that might be the red flag. But if it is something as simple as, oh yeah, maybe you see them talking to a girl or a guy, and you have all these trust issues inside of you, and it's just kind of like, oh, and you're exploding thinking this person's going to be like your last person. Don't bring your baggage from the past in with you. Okay, that is first and foremost. Do not bring your baggage in from the past with you. Secondly, you don't know. That person could be a family member that they just ran into. It could be an old friend that you just, and you may make this whole big scene going, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this to me. And then their spouse may walk up or their partner may walk up, because that might be how you know them. Just take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath. Don't throw in the towel because your mind is getting in the way. Just, if your relationship is worth fighting for, then fight for it. And if after maybe go to counseling, maybe you try to fight for it, maybe you try to work through things and it's still not working, then hey, you know what to do. But don't just throw in the towel before trying, okay? Because I see a lot of people do that nowadays, where it's just kind of like, and then they have all this regret. Like, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have given it a chance, or blah, blah, blah. So you never know, all right? Yeah, anyways. The romance angels see that your relationship is worth devoting effort to. Although there may be issues, these can be worked through and healed. You'll need to commit to the relationship to ensure the best chance of success. At the very least, if you do end it, you'll know that you gave it your all, right there. You'll also understand the role that you played in its dynamics. In this way, you'll avoid attracting similarly painful situations in the future. You receive this card because there's hope for your partnership. The love is still there. Working with a counselor may be your best option at this point. This professional can identify areas of dysfunction and guide you both in healthier directions. Now, I know these are love cards, but here's the thing. If you have a friendship or even a siblinghood or a parental relationship, couples counseling can work for that too. I know that sounds dumb, but it's not, because what they're trained to do is, not necessarily just a love relationship. They are trained to look into your relationship and see where the dysfunction is on both sides and bring it to the forefront, put it between you both so that you can discuss it and figure out how to heal from there. So you never know, you never know. But when it does come to those things, counseling can work. And if you're the person that's resistant to the counseling, if you want this relationship to work, you're going to have to remove the pride, and understand that this person is working really hard to keep you in their life, and go with them, because there's no shame in counseling. There's no shame in getting help. These people have studied, they've worked hard to get their degrees, and if they don't jive with you, because some of them are not that great, all right? I've heard a lot of people that have bad experiences. I've always been very lucky in my experiences with mental health professionals on my, just on my own, just for my own mental health. But there are some people out there that just are kind of, and I always gratitude, or you can pray or set an intention that you find the right person that fits your needs. So there you go. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Do not be afraid. Trust the process, right? Trust the process. When you start to feel more comfortable with people, you might just start spewing stuff out that you may not want somebody to know. I'll just use a simple example. For instance, I'm on a date with somebody, blah, blah, blah. And you start talking about these, silly, maybe somebody says, oh yeah, my niece or my nephew or whatever did something silly the other day and blah, blah, blah. And you just start laughing and they're all, what? And they're all, I was just thinking about the time that I had a 5th birthday, everybody else surprised, and I ran out the door. And then you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that because they might think I'm stupid or this, that, or the other. Just let it go. Whatever is meant to come out is going to come out. Okay, because this is how you get to know somebody. This is how you get to know that, if they're going to appreciate your quirks or they're just going to think you're an idiot and walk away. And if they're going to think you're an idiot and walk away, you don't need that person. Okay, because the most important relationship you are ever going to have in your entire life is the one you have with yourself. Because you got to live with you 24/7. That's where the self-love comes in, kids. So, fraggle up. I'm sorry. I'm just cracking myself up today. I must be punchy or something. And no, this is not caffeinated. So it's decaf. So, that's not the caffeine. But, yeah, see, I'm kind of putting myself out there, right? But yeah, don't be afraid to reveal your innermost self. Now, there are things that you might want to hold back on at the beginning, and I say this because you don't know, well, I don't know, use your judgment, and use your, trust yourself, because sometimes I think when we start letting out our innermost, deepest secrets about things, or the silliest things that we've done, or the ridiculous things we've done, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to see, is this person going to accept me as me? But also, don't judge them. If they're telling you all this silly stuff and all these, ridiculous things that they may have done in their life or this, that, or the other, don't judge them. Okay? You're getting to know each other on a new level. You're different people in this moment. Your past is right behind you. Everything's ahead of you. And you're just sitting here trying to get to know one another. Let that bond deepen. If there's something that comes up that might make you angry, or maybe something somebody did to you and it just slips out, don't worry about it. Maybe they'll have something constructive to say about it. Maybe they'll have something, healing to say about it. And that can help deepen your bond. So you got to trust these moments. So getting to know each other. I kind of feel like I botched that card. The romance angels are guiding you to create intimacy with your partner by revealing your true feelings, your dreams, and your desires, and the other innermost aspects of yourselves. You discover commonalities and learn new ways of relating. If you're presently in a relationship, this card is a message of healing through honest dialogue. This is particularly true if you stuff down feelings instead of discussing them with your partner. Perhaps sitting together with a counselor, there's the counselor again, will give you the strength and support to admit them. Regardless, this card clearly guides you toward holding deep and honest discussions for the benefit of your love life. So communication is basically what this card is trying to say. I told you I botched that one, but that's okay, because that's why I read the book too. Someone took the time to write it, and I'm not always gonna be smooth with my interpretations. But yeah, communication is key. It's a huge key. Communication and trust is a huge key. Children, your love life is being affected by children. We had this one last week. What is up with this card? So, okay, your love life is being affected by children. Now, okay, the first thing that came to my mind is, if you have children, but you are not in a relationship, are you using them to not be in a relationship again? Are you saying, well, I have kids, so blah, blah, blah. Okay. I know people who have kids who are in a great relationship, and these kids love the other person. All right. And that's magical, because sometimes kids can be a little hard to bring in. But when you do it correctly, when you do it, the right way, and you just kind of ease them into it, or, you use your spidey instincts, you use your judgment on what you think, and you have open conversations and discussions with your children about you moving forward, they might be supportive. They might have a little pushback because, sometimes they might think, well, I really want my parents to get back together. But when they realize eventually that will probably not happen, sometimes it does, then, they'll be supportive. But, you cannot hold back if one kid is not being supportive. You have to just help, guide them through it. It's going to be a learning curve for everybody. So that's the message that's coming to me. I'm not sure that's the message that's in the book, but if you are somebody out there and you are using your children to keep yourself from getting hurt, but you're also complaining about not being in a relationship, you have some work to do there. You have to really stop and think, is it really about my kids, or am I just afraid that I'm going to get hurt again? Life can deal us a lot of blows. Okay. And relationships may or may not last. We always hope they do. But if it just turns into more of a dating thing, then, you take those lessons and you move forward. And I don't know what my excuse is. I use everything. I think I use the people I worry about as my excuse for, not really opening my heart to anything. So, or maybe just the right person hasn't showed up yet or shown up yet, right? So anyways, the romance angels sent you this card because children are a significant factor in your love life. Either you want them or your partner have kids. Either you want them or you or your partner have kids who are influencing your love life. This is a factor to consider when you desire to improve your romantic future. The angels honor and support all expressions of love, and they're willing and able to help you with any issue concerning children. In addition, this card can also signify that your or your partner's inner child is affecting your relationship. This may mean there's a need for playfulness or a lighthearted spirit, or it could signal that it's time to heal a childhood emotional wound. The loving nature of your inner child and children in general is supportive of healing work, especially when its intention is to bring in more love. So there you go. Open your heart. Last one. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Okay, so this is funny. So I saw this one girl that I do follow on YouTube, and I had no idea, because she does a lot of tarot stuff and just like these short 10-minute readings. But she has this deck, and the funny thing is, this deck came up the other day, so I'm going to kind of borrow from her. And because the same thought is running through my head. When I first saw her pull this card, the same thought ran through my head, and then she said it out loud, and it's kind of like, whoa. All right, so she said, even if you've only met this person one time, if they're still on your mind, they're still in your brain, they're still in your heart somehow, no matter how much time has passed, you might want to think about that. Okay, because that could be the one. And again, remember that red cord that connects us to our soulmate. And if you believe in soulmates, or however you want to put it, your person, okay, your person, you never know. Like I said, they could be halfway around the world, or they could be right next door. They could be halfway around the world. They could be right down the block, right down the street. They could be in the next county. They could be in the next city. They could be in the next, street. So you never know, but you've got to keep your heart open, and you've got to trust that this person will find their way to you and that you will find your way to them. Just go with the flow. Sometimes we try so hard to find something and we just latch on to the idea of being in a partnership or a relationship that we forget to just have fun, to live our lives. Look at the other card right before that, your inner child. Does your inner child have something that needs to be healed? If it does, that might be tangling up that cord, or however you want to look at it, that fate or that destiny that sits in front of you. So we have to figure out how to put ourselves in a place where we trust and believe. Set your intentions, take action, right? That was one of the cards at the very beginning. Take action. And action could be praying for this or something better, setting your gratitude. Thank you for this or something better. Setting your intention. I would like this or something better. But you have to trust and believe, and you have to give it that wiggle room, which is this or something better. Give it the wiggle room, because if you don't give it the wiggle room and you're asking for something that may not be meant for you, you're just slowing down the process. So trust, okay? So this card signals that you've already met the person you romantically seek. Ooh. And again, remember what I said. It could have been one time. All right. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. So perhaps you're already in a relationship with him or her or them or they or she. Well, I'm trying to be polite here and cover everybody. Learn how to read, Shelley Marie. The romance angels send you this card because it seems you're not recognizing or enjoying the full potential of this person and relationship. Sometimes you may overlook someone who's meant for you because you have a different idea of what your partner should look or act like. Take a moment to consider who this might be. The first person to come to mind is probably the one. Not necessarily, okay? This is why the romance cards sometimes bother me. Because you may think, oh, the first person that comes to my mind, oh, that's my ex. But they may not be the one. A lot of times when it says the first person that comes to mind, you might be thinking actively about somebody. What it should say is meditate and see what comes up. All right. So this is one of the things that does that, because how am I trying to put this? I know I'm not very good at articulating this at this moment because, again, one of the most asked for readings, especially from people who are not really into the mystical side or the spiritual side or spiritualism. One of the, you're walking down the street and you just randomly say, hey, look, I've seen this in the movie. Let's go get a reading. And the first thing you're going to ask for, if you're single, how's my love life? Or if you're with somebody, but you have no trust, well, what are they doing? What are they up to? What is this? What is that? And, if you're not willing to hear the answers, even if they're good ones, they may say, well, they're not doing anything. Well, no, I'm feeling this. You're going to fight it. You're going to argue it. So the way this is worded, it kind of, bothers me. Even though it says probably the one, when somebody is that desperate trying to find somebody else, and somebody is that desperate trying to make that person fit what they want it to be, the probably is going to disappear. And they're going to think, that's the one. That's the one. And they're not going to see probably. So just be careful with that, okay? If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, or you're wondering why this person comes up, it's very possible that the person that came up, maybe it is an ex, right? And maybe something will happen. Or maybe it's meant to teach you. Take what you learned from that particular relationship, heal yourself, move forward, and trust the situation. And learn from your mistakes. We all can learn from our mistakes. We all can learn from past relationships, whether, the relationship ending was your doing or somebody else's doing or the other person's doing. We all can take from that. We can learn from that. Communication is always going to be the key. So next, invite the romance angels into your dreams as you're going to bed. Ask them to give you very clear information about your romantic partner, either in your relationship, present or future. During sleep, you're more open to angelic guidance or guidance. When you awaken, you may not remember your dreams, but you will have a clearer sense of romance and partnership. Take any action you feel called to based on your inner guidance, even if it seems unrelated to your love life. Trust that the angels are leading you toward the one you desire. So that's the part I'd go with. Just trust. Oops. Aw, I dropped the card. Damn. Sorry, hold on. Just trust. Trust. Okay, that card got away from me. Trust that when it says, trust your higher powers. Trust your gods, your goddesses, God, your angels. Trust your higher power. That, or whatever it is, wherever you put your faith in, that they are leading you to the one. The rest of this, like I said, the way that's worded just kind of bothers me a little. And for no other reason than I don't want it to mislead people, and I don't want people to throw all their energy into something that may or may not be meant for them. If you know, you know. Maybe you've been told several different times, or, you know, and that's one thing, but you have to be patient. You have to trust that whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and it's going to do it in divine timing. I know, there's that word, there's that phrase again, divine timing. So this is my favorite deck. This is going to be the last one. Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. That romance deck took, boy, that sucked the life out of me. But I think maybe my lesson from that is to not judge the card and just, you know, go with the flow and let it resonate with whoever. So it looks like we only have one card from this deck, which, oh, I love this card. I am pulling that one because that's my favorite card. This, I know, this one and the cupcake one are just my absolute favorite. I mean, look at that face. How can you not love that face? It is so cute. Like, hey, and, oh, snacks. Who doesn't love snacks? Right. But no, cupcake is my other favorite one. But anyways, we'll go with snacks first. Oh, this is a good one. Release judgments around food. Release judgments around food. So, I'm going to have to share a little backstory of myself. I am an emotional eater, or I'm a recovering emotional eater. I admit, yesterday I ate my feelings. But back on the wagon today. However, when people are in a weight loss journey, or as we put it, dieting. My last therapist, not the recent last one, but the one before that, actually forbade me. She was also a therapist that dealt with not just childhood trauma, but also eating disorders. And she's the one that kind of told me, yeah, emotional eating is an actual eating disorder. So that's when I was shocked out of my mind. I thought I was making things up in my head. But she forbade me from dieting, because dieting is quite an ugly cycle, a very ugly cycle. And for some people it works when you're trying to lose those 2 pounds. Maybe you want to fit in a nice dress, or, you know, this, that, or the other, or maybe, you know, like there are people out there who for work, they get into shape and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, but after it, they'll eat the things they love. Well, for a lot of us, because there is kind of an addiction factor to it, we can put judgments around food. Or if we're somebody who, if there's somebody out there that you know that is fit, that says, well, you shouldn't be eating that, or don't eat that. I remember there was one person that I used to follow on Instagram years and years ago, and they would post these mean things like, you know, do you want to, you know, bench the cupcake or bench the whatever? And it's like, that's not going to help people, because you're shaming them. You're food shaming them. If you want the piece of cake, have a piece of cake. I'm not saying eat the whole damn cake. Take a sliver if you're worried about it. Okay? Because if that doesn't satisfy the craving, you can always go back for a little bit more. But just watch yourself. Portion control. Portion control is the biggest thing. You know, if you're at a place where there's sweets, don't sit there and go, oh my God, there's a plethora of sweets, and I can have as many as I want. No, just take a little bit of the one that you like. You may not like the other ones, but your brain is saying, oh my God, it's all there. You know, I mean, I've seen people that have had parties that had these candy bars, not candy bars, but candy bars, where they had candy all over the place, and they had little bags and you could fill it up. And believe it or not, at this time, the party I went to, I didn't want any of them because they weren't really something. But the first thought in my head was, I got to have them all. I got to have them all. And it was like, then I thought about it and I'm all, no, because, you know, I'm more of a chocolate person, and there's only like 1 or 2 things on here that are chocolate. So I just took 1 or 2 pieces of the chocolate thing at the time. Then, I was told later, somebody handed me a bag with the chocolate stuff, but it actually took me a while to eat. So, because I was doing my best to remember what I had learned. And that's what we have to do. We have to just kind of use our own judgment, but don't judge the food. Okay. If you're at a birthday party and you're all, no, I'm trying to watch my figure, I don't want the birthday cake. Just, do what a lot of people I see do. Can I just have like maybe even just a quarter of that piece? Because sometimes, like when I cut my birthday cake, I cut my pieces big for my people. And then I'll have them say, you know what, can I just have like half of that? Or can I just have a quarter of that? Or maybe, a third of that? And that's fine. You just cut it back down. Just cut it back down. And then the next person over, now that somebody else has said something, may say, you know what, can I have that piece? Can I have the rest of that one? Because I really don't want a lot either. It looks kind of rich, or it looks kind of sweet. So don't judge the snacks. All right. Don't judge your snacks. Just, if you have a craving, feed it proportionately. And, try not to go crazy. I know that part's hard because, I struggle with emotional eating, but, I'm learning as I go. So, release judgments around food. Release judgments around food. Strawberries have long been it's a strawberry. Oh yeah, there's little strawberries on there. So cute. We got strawberries in the fridge. Oh my God, they were so good. Kind of not too sweet, but a little tart. Just the way I like them. Strawberries have long been associated. Can you hear my tummy growling? Because I know that sometimes the mic picks it up. But anyway, strawberries have long been associated with love and happiness. Their sweet berry heralds late spring, early summer, and the start of outdoor parties. Joyful gatherings often feature strawberries, whether in a glass of champagne, which is really good, or decorating and flavoring a delicious dessert, which is also really good, and I've done that. On a metaphysical level, strawberries encourage us to enjoy the sweet things in life: happiness, abundance, and sensuality. Never thought about that one. Anyways, sorry, my brain. My face gives me away. If my mouth doesn't give me away, my face will give me away. This card appears when you or others around you have been judgmental about food choices. Be gentle on yourself. We live in challenging times where food has been demonized. Some food is considered good, other food is deemed bad. And the types of food that are good and bad swap around. They do. One time egg wasn't good for you, now eggs are good for you. Then they went back and forth. So it's just like, you know what, eat the damn egg. For example, avocados, butter, and eggs. Once considered bad for you are now thought of as superfoods. You can be forgiven for being confused. No one food is intrinsically good or bad. Everyone has the right to eat what they want when they want to. One of the great joys of this physical existence is delighting in the variety of delicious food and drink available on this abundant earth. This unicorn appears when you have been struggling with finding the right diet and nutrition, or labeling what you eat as right or wrong, creating feelings of guilt and resentment around food. Now, when they say diet, they don't mean you're on a diet. They mean, just your every daily diet. So your diet of whatever it is, like your diet of Starbucks every day. Do not do that every day. That's actually from yesterday, but I didn't really finish drinking it, so I saved it. So there's a lot of information available about the perfect diet, but remember, one size does not fit all. So what works for one person may not work for you, or what works for you may not work for somebody else. So what works for one person may be damaging to another. Anyways, I'm giggling because it's like, just read the damn book, Shelley Marie, because they're saying what you're saying anyways. Check in with your inner guidance. What would you love to eat or cook? This is what your body wants. Let go of the ego and allow yourself to enjoy food without attaching any labels to it. So, the unicorn magic. The unicorn encourages you to cook and eat something you've been meaning to try for a long time but have been putting off due to guilt, judgment, or expense. This type of kitchen magic can be a very good healing process and help you get back in touch with food as a source of pleasure. Cooking for yourself and others is an act of love and nourishment. I'm not going to lie, one of my favorite animals on the entire planet, believe it or not, besides penguins, puffins, turtles, those are my faves. And I have, otters. I just love animals. But my top favorites are these: turtles, penguins, and cows. I know, I've just had this weird obsession with cows since I was a teenager. But people used to ask me, well, how can you eat them? And I'm like, well, they're cute and they taste good too. That's the only way I could get around it, okay? Because in my mind, that cow sitting out there is not going to be someone's dinner. I know. That's how I think. That's how I get through it. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who disagree. you know, you're vegans, you're vegetarians, and I get it. I have friends who are vegans, and it's how I move through my life. It's like my meat comes faceless into styrofoam with plastic. I know that's, you know, it's from the grocery store. They're born in the grocery store, but so misguiding and misleading. But that is how I get through it. But I stopped letting people guilt me about that. You know, I don't eat as much red meat as I used to. So it's more of a, I don't want to say a treat, but it's more of a nice thing when I do, because I can't, believe it or not, my blood type does not process that particular meat very well. So I noticed that it just kind of sits in my stomach for a while, and just takes a while for my body to digest it. So not that you need to know all that stuff, right? TMI. But the point I'm trying to make is I guilted myself for a long time about that. And I would have these gnarly cravings of things that I would want, but I would feel so guilty. I'd feel so guilty because it's like, well, but don't judge it. Don't judge it. If you want that cookie, eat the cookie. You don't have to eat the whole bag, okay? But you can take a couple out. You know, don't sit next to the bag with you. Just keep a couple out, or take a couple out. Sit for a moment. My tummy is growling so hard. But if you want more, wait a few minutes and see if you really do want more, or you're just relearning. You're unlearning all your bad habits and relearning good habits. That has been a struggle for me, but it has been working. It has been working. Sometimes when I think I want something like a whole big bowl of something sweet, I'll grab the strawberries instead. And maybe I'll put a little whipped cream on it. Older sibling, baby sibling, one of my favorite things that she's taught me, peanut butter, dark chocolate chips, and apple slices. Right? And this girl goes to the gym Monday through Friday, works out all the time. I mean, she is, wow. And, you know, it's just, but, you know, these are the kind of people that I have in my life too. Brother from another mother, baby sibling. These are people who are helping me in my health journey, you know, and they keep an eye on me. They keep me accountable on what I've done, what I haven't done. And they don't let me go too long if, you know, I wasn't feeling well earlier this week. So, just, you know, stuff. But, I couldn't do the exercises, my normal exercises that I do. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. It's just right now my body is betraying me, you know, at this time of the month. So, I'm like, it's not happening, but they're like, that's fine, but we're going to keep an eye on you. So when you have people who are, you know, who are way ahead on their, well, I don't want to say way ahead. Everybody's health journey is their own health journey. But when you have people that you might consider are way ahead of you, don't look at it that way. You were on your journey. And that's what these people remind me of. You were on your journey. You're doing what you need to do. You know, we're just here to support you. We're here to keep you accountable like you asked us to. We're not here to push you out of your comfort zone. We're not here to do this, that, or the other. We might make suggestions. But that's one of the reasons why, you know, I know I'm talking about it here. But, unless somebody I know is watching it here, that's why I don't normally put these things on my actual Facebook. My Facebook is private. It's just family and friends. And that's generally why I don't do it, because the minute you do that, everybody comes out of the woodwork. Oh, well, you should try this. You should try that. And they mean well, but it can get very overwhelming. You know, so if somebody's asking you, maybe you're on your own health journey and somebody's asking you, just be supportive. Be supportive. If they tell you to hold them accountable, don't hold them accountable in a mean way. Just say, hey, you know what? How was your workout today? You know, and be like, oh, well, I haven't worked out. Well, you know what? That's okay. Are you not up to it? Are you just feeling lazy or what? It's like, well, maybe I'm feeling lazy. Okay, well, I'll check in with you tomorrow. And knowing that you might check in with them tomorrow might say, ooh, I better do this. So you're helping them, but you're not forcing them out of their comfort zone. All right. So the last card, my favorite card in this whole deck, besides the cupcake, is, okay, you know what? You're probably all like, why is the cupcake your favorite card? I will show you why. Because she is just delightful and adorable. So I know you're like, really, Shelly Marie? We're not here. We're here for messages, not for you to show us your silly cards. But, okay, where is she? She's hiding. There she is. How cute is that card? Look, she's just like, yeah, I'm enjoying this cupcake and I don't give a rat's behind what anybody thinks about it. That's how we all should be. Thick or thin. Don't shame yourself, okay? Don't let other people shame you. If you are out to dinner with a bunch of people and people are ordering dessert around you and, you know, all of a sudden you say, well, I'd like this, and somebody looks like, really? You're going to have that? Tell them, you know what? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. I'm out here having fun with my friends, which I'm assuming you're one of them, and this is what I want. And no, that has not happened to me. That has not happened to me. At least not, they didn't say it. If they thought it, it stayed in their head. But there have been people. My parents used to always worry about my weight when I was skinny. So, you know, but yeah, I love her. And she just says, it's the body positivity card. She is the body positivity card. In fact, I'm going to keep her out for a while because I love her. So here we go. The start of a fantastic new journey. What a way to end Aloha Oracle Friday, right? Aloha Oracle Friday is ending with new beginnings. So the start of a fantastic new journey. I'm just going to read that one because I'm feeling all kinds of feelings right now about that card. And I mean, in a good way. I don't think there's more I can add to this that it doesn't already say. When you trust, when you believe, when you take action and do your intentions or do whatever you need to do to make this dream happen or to make this fantastic new journey roll on, it's going to happen. It's called going with the flow. Going with the flow has been a hard learn for me, but I'm learning it. And the more I do it, the more I find everything looks more colorful. Everything looks more doable. Everything seems a lot more exciting. Even my exercises in the morning. You know, I mean, I didn't do my proper exercises this week, but I did, you know, I redirected and did something else. So when I can't do my harder exercises, like the ones that require you being up and down and off the floor and doing all these other crazy things, I'll do Qigong. And there's a great 10-minute Qigong lesson, and I love it. I love it. It works every part of my body. It doesn't put too much stress on my body during, well, that time of the month. So, you know, but it also keeps, God, my tummy is driving me nuts. It is growling so hard, you guys. But, you know, that's the thing is, you know, we can also redirect. So my body's still getting movement, but it's not, you know, being asked to do more than it's capable of in that moment. So it's these little things that help us on our new fantastic journey. Whatever your journey is, that's just the newest part of my health journey, my mental health journey and my physical health, so that I can keep this little girl running. So sakura, or Japanese cherry blossom, are ornamental trees. Excuse me, let me try that again. Sakura, or Japanese cherry blossom, are ornamental trees revered for their luminous blush pink flowers. They flower in Japan in late March and early April. Sakura are synonymous with joy, celebrations, relaxation, festivals, and contentment. The blossoms themselves are used in snack dishes. Oh, I didn't know that. Both sweet and savory, to flavor delicious teas or as a beautiful floral display. The cherry blossom's ephemeral nature is seen as a metaphor for the short yet powerful time we are here on Earth. So that's my understanding, is cherry blossoms don't blossom for very long. Just, it's very, like it says here, in March and April. So if you want to see the cherry blossoms, you gotta plan it. So the Japanese custom of hanami is the practice of feasting beneath the cherry blossoms, and one that has been enjoyed for hundreds of years. One must be quick to seize the opportunity because this glorious display only lasts 5 to 7 days. This is the yes card. Its energy is one of new opportunities, taking a leap of faith, and enjoying some beginner's luck. The energy of this card is very positive. Blossom is playful and whimsical, and it is about approaching possibilities with a light heart and a sense of fun. This unicorn heralds the start of a fantastic new journey, and for this reason is much like the Fool card in the tarot. Have a little faith in the future when Blossom skips into your life. Now, when they talk about the Fool card in tarot, it's kind of the go with the flow. I know it says the Fool, right? But we'll look at people. How many times have we been judgmental and we've looked at people just say, oh yeah, I just go with the flow and I just let whatever happens. You're a fool. You know, you should always, you know, do this, that, or the other. Don't just, you know, trust things will happen. Why not? Why not? Because when we open our vibe and we open our heart and we open ourselves to all the wonderful things that can flow into our lives, when we pray or when we set intentions or when we do that gratitude and we believe in it and we trust it, when we trust it, that's when things happen. Let me put it in very simple terms. You wake up in the morning, you stub your toe. And this may happen to you twice, right? Maybe the first day you stub your toe, oh, it's going to be that kind of day. And you get pissy and you're pissy for the rest of the day because you've chosen that path. You've chosen to be angry about everything that happens because that's how you woke up. The next morning you stub your toe again and you're like, oh God, seriously again? And this time you might laugh and you might move whatever it is that you're stubbing your toe on, right? But you might laugh and go, well, you know what? Yesterday was shitty. I just want today to be better. And you think, yeah, I'm going to pick this thing up and move it. But then you go on your day and you're happy and everything falls into place. Things don't just go wrong because, we're unlucky. Sometimes we might be, I don't know. Sometimes it feels that way, right? But it's because it's what you're drawing to you. If you're in a bad mood and you're angry, you might draw that person who's cranky like you are, and they may just set you off even more. But if you're in a good mood, that person may be drawn to you because maybe they want someone to listen to them. Maybe they're cranky for a reason, and you're going to look at that situation so much more differently. That's what the start of a fantastic new journey is. Which path do you want to take? Do you want to take the angry and, oh my God, can you guys hear my tummy? It is going crazy. She's hungry. But I know, not she. I mean, my body is hungry. But, I'm sure this card's not helping. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we can choose the journey. Do you want to continue on the journey where you're just kind of pushing back on everything? Or do you want to start that fantastic new journey? Trust that cherry blossom. Trust the Fool card. Trust the blossom unicorn that says, hey, you know what? Why not? Just ask yourselves, why not? Instead of, why should I? Just say, why not? Go with the flow. See what happens. See what comes to you. That doesn't mean every day is going to be, sunshine, sprinkles, and rainbows. But when you're in a better place, you will handle those situations better. Maybe it won't be a day of sprinkles and rainbows, but the sunshine might still be out. Instead of just sad and gloomy. Sometimes we have to take that action, just like the first cards. Sometimes we have to take that action, pick ourselves up by our bootstraps, heal whatever needs to be healed, right? Feel it, honor it, heal it, let it go. Feel it, honor it, heal it, let it go. And sometimes that can make the difference between staying on the same journey or starting your fantastic new journey. And you may be like, well, where's the start line? You could just get up from wherever you're watching this from now and say, you know what? Maybe I'll go have that cupcake that's still sitting in my kitchen. Or maybe I'll just watch this movie that I'm not sure I wanted to watch. Or maybe, I'll call my friends and say, hey, you know what? I know you guys asked me to go out. I'm sorry I didn't say yes right away, but maybe you might change your mind. Maybe you're like, you're feeling like you might want to go, but you're afraid that your friends are going to say, no, we don't want you to come now. We already asked you earlier. You could just call them. Ask them, where are you guys at? I'll meet you there. Just whatever it is that you need to do to move forward on this journey. And I won't be honest with you. I'm not talking out of my ass here because I'm looking at this card and going, Shelly Marie, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So this goes for me too. This is also for me to just really kind of say, hey, you know what? What am I waiting for? Am I waiting for, I don't know, a satellite to drop on my head to remind me what I'm capable of and what I'm made of? Go out there and have fun. And, if you're not having one of those feel-good days, do what you need to do to take care of yourselves. All right. Whether you have a dinged up mental health or not, we all have those days where we've hit bottom and we need to take care of ourselves. And don't be afraid to mention that. Don't be afraid to say something about that because you have to take care of yourself too. Okay. Self-care is always necessary. It's not selfish. It is necessary. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much, so much for watching today. And to my girls that are watching right now, Laura and Eileen, thank you so much for staying on. I know it was a long one, guys. I'm trying not to let these be so long anymore, but sometimes it just happens. The messages come out. It's not just the Aloha Oracle. It's also kind of the Aloha Perspective. So again, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. And again, I'll be back on Monday we're back to Suicide Prevention Month. And I'm either going to talk about childhood trauma, or we're going to talk about veterans' mental health. So those two are going to be Monday and Tuesday. Just not sure which one I'm going to do yet, which one I want to, I don't know. It's not that one's not more important than the other. It's just a matter of which one I do first. So we'll see what happens. All right. But I hope you join me for that. We're also going to talk about CPTSD and PTSD. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you to all my people who came on live, and have a wonderful and safe, amazing weekend. Have a great day.